I think that the number one thing, for example, when I met many of the Japanese Americans that have been interns in Arkansas and California, etc., they did get some reparations, like this much. But in what they said, what meant the most is the acknowledgement and the apology. And I think that the whole reparations thing, I mean, we could talk about that for hours and hours, but I think that it's like people are in denial. Why can't we just acknowledge that something really horrible and terror, you know, the slavery? Why can't we just face the facts? Some people write dissertations on how it's not even true. And it's just, I think it's harmful if you don't face the facts.
Yeah, because it really runs counter to the liberty and justice for all rhetoric. And so I would say that people are always in a state of confusion, because that's very powerful stuff that is in people's heads. And so to reconcile the thought that within these words lies a level of brutality that's basically untold.
But then I always tell young people that if you know about slavery and you know about the system of oppression, then you should have an understanding of why there still is oppression.
Right.
And how can you deny that there's still oppression when only 50 years ago that the courts ruled otherwise? I mean, legal in education, that's what I'm saying. Like Dr. Roberts said, 300, you cannot undo the minds of 300 years of work, 300 years plus. You know? You can change the law. I mean, we could change the law tomorrow, but people are still going to be stuck.
Yeah, because we have this confusion about who we are. Let me just tell you quickly about, on Sojourn, one of the exercises is ask the kids, you're sitting in a brown room. You're sitting in a literal brown room. If you stirred them up, you would have a paint that's darker than beige, because you've got a range of ethnic heritages. And when you throw them the question, what is the American image? Immediately they give you white, male, able-bodied, physically fit, middle class, college educated, from a brown room, okay? And that stuff is so powerful. And then after they realize they've done that, they say, oh, but, no, it's too late, because you were asked the question, and straight out of your head came that image, even though you are not that image. So it's very powerful stuff, and it's pervasive and persistent. And I would propose that, and I think I've said before, and that we have the apparatus to shift that, but we've chosen not to, so it's interesting. So you're a real expert on what it was like in the 50s, because you're right there and you've read and expressed and listened to people and talked to people. And what do you know about that period?
People were brainwashed, conditioned from the very base of slavery. Just trickled down, carried down, like that white child who said, blacks don't have the mental capacity, going back to Darwinism, like cranium size and all this. I mean, just for years and years and years and years and years, we're told lies. And that's why when people question things that are going on today, I'm like, why do we have to wait for 50 years for someone to say, yeah, this is true, this is really what was going on? I mean, the Klan was connected to the FBI during that time. I always use that example. A system of power is connected to a hate group. Why would we think that some of the things that happen now are not possible? Because I think racism is thriving today. Some people think it doesn't exist. I don't agree with that.
Absolutely. And it's thriving because, you know, just for the heck of it, the whole period of social Darwinism, eugenics, we're into Darwinism then, because it maintained power in the hands of white people. Now we don't want to talk about it now. I keep wondering what happened to, shift that way of thinking somehow. I mean, that's a huge conversation, but wow, we use it when we want to, when it's to our advantage. We don't want to use it when it's not. I heard the governor ex-governor who's running for president, saying he doesn't believe in evolution. What thinking, it doesn't matter whether you believe in evolution or not, but why are we talking about this in 2007 in the United States?